In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'll learn about solid waste management in Falmouth, enjoy some tunes at the Rockin Recovery event at Old Silver Beach, and visit Tommy's Place in Falmouth with Troy Clarkson. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued new guidance on July 27th, recommending that individuals in areas of high or substantial transmission should wear masks when indoors in public, even if they are vaccinated. With Barnstable County designated as an area of high transmission as of the date of that release, Falmouth Health Agent Scott McGann has resumed his weekly Friday video briefings to bring us the most up-to-date advisories. You can view them on FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org. And now let's meet the new Town Solid Waste and Recycling Coordinator. Mary Bunker-Ryther has only been on the job a few short months, but is already announcing improvements to the way town residents can drop off unwanted items at the waste management facility and the reopening of the much-loved Pick of the Litter swap shop.
Hi, I'm Mary Bunker-Ryther, and I'm the Town of Falmouth's Recycling and Solid Waste Coordinator. This is a new position and part of the Department of Public Works. My responsibilities include public education and outreach, coordination with our curbside collection contractors, and helping residents to reduce their waste stream. There are several ways I can help residents manage and reduce their individual waste streams. I have a short-term goal of increasing the town's curbside recycling rate from 21 to 25% by the end of 2021. By the end of 2022, I hope we will be at 30% and more in line with the rest of the state. We can all help to improve our recycling rate by removing one of the heaviest materials from our trash, which is food scraps. A 5-gallon bucket of food scraps weighs between 15 and 20 pounds. Food scraps are collected here at the waste management facility free of charge. These 2 containers are collected twice weekly by a compost company. Backyard composting is also a great way to manage your food scraps right at home. The news is that we have reorganized this gate area to make it more convenient to drop off food scraps, make donations, and dispose of waste oil, batteries, fluorescent bulbs, and other household items. You do not need a sticker for this area. On July 10th, the swap shop will reopen. If people have any questions about how to recycle or dispose of products in this area, please give me a call at my office.
Thank you to Mary Bunker-Ryther and Eileen Preston for an update that will help us all reduce, reuse, and recycle. It's time now for 3 things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
Human Resources Director Denise Coleman addressed the Select Board in their latest meeting regarding staffing issues in town departments. Ms. Coleman listed several departments that are lacking full staffing, such as police, fire rescue, and public works. She reported that there were many factors causing staffing issues, some of which include the town's salary structure being lower than market.
What we find most difficult to fill are the DPW, fire, and police positions. But before I get into that, just want to tell you a little bit about some of the struggles we've faced with our seasonal positions. So we have several vacancies that are still occurring now.
The Select Board also discussed holding a public meeting for residents to voice their opinions on the Joint Base Cape Cod proposed machine gun range. The board and town officials felt it is necessary to publicly meet so that residents can be presented with all of the facts. Some board members felt a previous presentation from representatives of the base fell short in answering many questions.
Where we've left it with them is that if it's the desire of the board, we'd set multiple potential dates, and I would notify them and ask them to make themselves available. But as you've noted, Madam Vice Chair and Mr. Chairman, we've done that in the past and come up empty, so it is equally frustrating on my part, I assure you.
Ask a question. Where are we with our state legislative delegation in voicing our concerns? I was wondering whether we should just hold a public meeting and have our state representatives come to that and take the input, because I think if it's a change is going to occur, it's likely to become as a result of state action. Mm-hmm. And maybe they'll show up.
State Senator Susan Moran also addressed the board in this meeting, opening up the discussion on a proposed amendment to the Steamship Enabling Act. Senator Moran walked the board through the many complaints she's received from the public, noting that many complaints go unresolved and what changes the amendment will make.
Ferry transportation via Steamship Authority is an integral piece of regional transportation and the regional economy. But the enabling legislation itself is a hurdle and sometimes stumbling block to even the beginning of a conversation. When one side of a conversation is virtually powerless, there's little impetus to listen, let alone consider real change. This bill is an avenue for us to work together, both island and mainland towns, to have a true conversation to guarantee the long-term success of the Steamship Authority, to ensure its strength as we meet challenges now and in the future, such as climate change and new bridges. The Steamship Authority relies on something of a partnership between the Cape and the islands. The very purpose of the authority is to facilitate the ongoing link between the port towns and the islands. But a partnership means everyone has a voice. When I hear repeatedly about long traffic delays, potential catastrophic interferences with ambulatory or fire services, dangerous roads, ongoing sleep disruptions from freight traffic at all hours of the day, refusal to consider fuel-saving ferry load consolidation and conservation measures, it becomes clear that something is not working.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. It's now time for our calendar segment. The 30th Annual Falmouth Walk is on the calendar for Saturday, August 14th, starting at 10 a.m. from Falmouth's Town Hall Square. The picturesque 5K course will once again flow through the charming streets of Falmouth, along Falmouth Harbor, and past the storefronts of Main Street to the finish at St. Barnabas Church by the town green. Register by August 12th at falmouthroadrace.com. The Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition will be hosting its annual statewide Against the Tide athletic fundraising event as both virtual and in-person events in August. The in-person event on August 14th at DCR's Nickerson State Park features a 1-mile swim, 5K or 10K runs, and a 3-mile walk. Go to mbcc.org for registration details. On August 19th from 6 to 7 p.m., the West Falmouth Library will be hosting local poet and writer Linda Maria Steele in celebration of the launch of her latest book, Finding the Writer Within. Steele's newest work provides inspiration and support for the new, established, and curious writer. This event is free and open to the public. Don't forget to join us on August 26th at 7 p.m. for the next virtual installment of our open mic series, Poetic License, as we celebrate our 2nd anniversary. Sign up for another night of poetry and prose, stories and songs, with entertainment provided by you and your friends and neighbors. August's suggested theme is hometown. Pre-register by Wednesday, August 25th to receive your Zoom login information. Check out fctv.org for more details. And finally, clean out your closet to benefit FCTV as we hold our first flea market on Friday, August 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. Donate your clothing, kitchen items, and other knickknacks, and stop by to find some fantastic bargains. Donation information can be found at fctv.org. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll see what Senator Elizabeth Warren had to say when she visited Falmouth. Stay with us.
I'm Laura Reckford, Executive Director of the Falmouth Arts Center. Our mission as a nonprofit organization is dedicated to the visual arts, providing educational and exhibition opportunities year-round. We welcome students of all ages and abilities and all those who enjoy and appreciate art. We were founded more than 50 years ago, way back in 1966, as the Falmouth Artists Guild, when a few local painters gathered for informal art classes. Now we have more than 800 members. About 10 years ago, we were fortunate to build our own community arts center at 137 Gifford Street on the corner of Dillingham Avenue, and we're so proud of this space and grateful to those who helped us get here. Our 3 art galleries are free and open to the public every day. We change the shows every month, so we have 36 shows a year. We offer classes year-round in a range of arts, including drawing, watercolor, pastels, oil, and acrylic painting, collage, and photography. Our state-of-the-art pottery studio offers classes for all levels in wheel throwing and hand building. Our weaving studio also offers classes for all levels. We offer after-school, early release, summer and vacation camps for kids year-round. Our students range in age from 5 years old to 99 years old. We have meetup groups for fiber artists, portrait painters, and painting en plein air, which is outside in season. We have openings, art talks, museum tours, and events year-round. Come on over to Falmouth Arts Center.
Welcome back. Recently, United States Senator Elizabeth Warren came to Gov Fuller Field to update her constituents and hear voter concerns. She declared the passage of a national voting rights bill, S1, to be her most urgent priority, followed by infrastructure and COVID-19 vaccination funding. But Senator Warren also fielded questions of local concern that citizens tossed out from the bleachers.
The importance of S1, I keep going back to this. Voting is the beating heart of our democracy. We cannot, as a party, we cannot as a people, stand by while one of America's 2 major political parties says quite openly the only way that they can hang on to power is to keep American citizens from voting. So this is a fight in that sense. This is the fight for all the marbles. But the part right behind it is, even if we can protect the vote, we still have to deliver.
The question that I brought up was about the multi-purpose machine gun range at Joint Base Cape Cod. And for people who aren't familiar with it, it is a proposed plan to build an 8-lane machine gun range at the base to conduct training activities on a land that is designated by the state as protected for water quality and habitat protection.
I understand the threat we're talking about here, threat to the water supply. I also understand the consequences of clear cutting 170 acres of forested land. What I'm trying to figure out is what step can we take next at the federal level? You realize this can be stopped at either of 2 places. So job number 1 for me is what can we do at the federal level? And I met with Andrew earlier today to talk about what I can ask for, whether we do it in a letter, whether we do it by phone call, what I can ask for that will give us better information to assess the impact of putting this range in place. A thorough environmental review, not the light one, but the real one, right? Not the LITE version.
I've always wanted to meet Senator Warren. My question is actually about the COVID virus that we've all been dealing with for so long now, and we wish it would go away. We've all been vaccinated. Most of us here on the East Coast in my family have been vaccinated, and in other states. But I do have family in California and Idaho I'm very, very worried about, because they're refusing to get the vaccine. They don't have any medical reason not to get it, and I'm very worried that they're endangering their health, their children's health, and their 87-year-old father's health.
Vivek Murthy, our Surgeon General, who's from Massachusetts, last Thursday went out, tried to do work around this, and said nearly every death from COVID now is a preventable death. Nearly every hospitalization from COVID is a preventable hospitalization. And that the passing around of misinformation is costing people their health and their lives. It is putting their loved ones at risk. And it puts our whole community at risk, as all of you know. The one thing I'd offer is to keep being quite overt about what you tell them because you love them. You tell them because you care about them. You tell them because you care about your great nieces and nephews. You care about their children and their cousins. But to keep pushing back the information.
To watch Senator Warren's message to voters in its entirety, tune in to our Government Channel 15 or click on the View on Demand tab on our website. Thanks to Jeff Wyman, Eileen Preston, and Lee Jackson for that report. After a one-year hiatus due to COVID-19, Rockin Recovery was back at Old Silver Beach last week. Organized by Recovery Without Walls, the crowd at this fundraising event was treated to the infectious grooves of the Moonlighters, set against a quintessential Falmouth summer backdrop.
I get the feeling I may know you.
Bucky Hall and the Moonlighters graciously came to us a few years ago and said, let's do a big fundraiser for Recovery Without Walls and our Cups for Heroes program. And so here we are, and we've been doubling in size for the last 3 years, and tonight's just a great night for us. Recovery Without Walls works with women who have been through substance abuse treatment and who want to get on with the interruption that causes. So we are a 15-year-old program, nonprofit. We charge no funds, and we help people get from point A to point B with their lives, everything from housing to college to job placement. And we've worked with about 5,000 people in the last 15 years, women in the last 15 years. So tonight's a special night.
I got involved with Recovery Without Walls sort of through my own recovery over the years, and got to know Bill Dougherty. And we got together one winter about trying to have a concert here, and he said, you'll never get the town to do it. And we did. We got it on Old Silver because this is where the sun comes down. We wanted to have this perfect spot in Falmouth, and the town gave us a chance the first year, and we proved that this could be done in a great way. There's an alcohol-free event, 2 hours, people dancing in the sand. I just feel so blessed and full of gratitude that I can be part of this and help them raise some money, and at the same time get to play my rock and roll at my old age. So I love it.
Well, I'm running down the road, trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. Oh, they want to hold me, 2 they want to stole me. 1 said she's a friend of mine.
We're here at Old Silver Beach. It's a beautiful night. We love the Moonlighters and their music, and we wanted to support Rockin Recovery. I think it's an important charity.
I'm here because I love Silver Beach. I love music, and I love this cause. I think it's all wonderful.
I think that's Old
And I
Silver
hope they
Beach
get a
right
lot of
there.
money from
And so with the help of a lot of volunteers and the Moonlighters giving their time and their efforts, we're making it happen, and it's just turned into a huge event. Bucky's got a big heart. The guys in the band are great, and they bring with them, as you can see, this huge crowd of people. So we're blessed, feeling really blessed.
To learn more about Recovery Without Walls, check out recoverywithoutwalls.org. Thanks to Andrew Richards for covering that special event. The Falmouth Farmers Market and Falmouth Art Market have returned to Marine Park every Thursday this summer. Our FCTV interns stop by to see what these popular markets have to offer.
Have there been any challenges this year while setting up the market?
Compared to last year, everything's a breeze. COVID created a lot of chaos, and a little safety precautions. It was just like a lot more work. Managing people and crowd flow and just trying to keep it safe. So this year's been easy compared to last year.
And how do you choose your vendors?
So we try and find vendors as local as possible. We have like a 100-mile radius that we try and stick to. Certain products, obviously, we don't really produce a lot of maple syrup here, so like things like that. And then meat, there's really not a good source of meat in the quantities that we would need here for our customer base. So we have a few vendors that come from outside that 100 miles, but because they're missing locally. So we don't have a huge pool of farmers here on Cape Cod. 2 of our 4 farmers are from Falmouth, which is actually nice, but a lot of them come from off the bridge where there's more farmland.
And what are you looking forward to for the rest of the summer?
Oh, I mean, I'm a big fruit fan. So like if we're talking food, anything, the fruit's coming out. We got plums and peaches this week and blueberries showed up this week. So the fruit's happening and I'm really looking forward to more fruits. And then the winter squashes are always like, when I start to see those, I'm like a little bittersweet, but I can't wait to try them. Yeah, I would like to add that we have a great program here called Share Your Bounty. And if you have extra produce in your garden, or if you have just an abundance of food from visitors and you wanted to donate those to the service center, we actually have a pickup location here on Thursdays for that very purpose. So you can bring canned goods, you can bring garden produce, and you can also buy things at the market to donate to the service center. And so we encourage people to come by the market with their extra produce or canned goods to donate to the service center.
Being outside and enjoying the community and listening to the music and talking to all the other people here and the customers, it just really feels like summer. Oh, it's a great event. I mean, I encourage everyone to come down. There's 25 different vendors here, and we have music from 2 to 4, always different, but always enjoyable. And this year we have a book booth where you can meet an author, buy their book, and you know, it's just really nice, and it brings out all the best of Cape Cod, I think.
So it was a weekender, and it would bring people down from Boston to Woods Hole very rapidly. Wow. I grew up on surf drive, as a matter of fact, so I thought I could paint this and bring back some nostalgia from the early 60s in Falmouth. Probably the Nobska Point one, the big one. Everybody loves Nobska because it's one of the most favorite lighthouses on Cape Cod. I like animals. I've got lions, I've got orcas, I've got owls. Most excited for people to get into the arts.
Thanks to our interns Lee Jackson and Ellen Fideli for that story. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check in with the Falmouth Public Schools to learn about student learning opportunities during the summer months. Stay with us. Welcome back to Falmouth in Focus. This summer, many students are taking time for their learning by participating in several programs being offered by Falmouth Public Schools. Here's more about the learning opportunities Falmouth students of all ages are participating in, with in-person as well as virtual options.
We're going to continue this year with Falmouth High School and Lawrence School's summer school programs. They had some adjustments as we came through the lessons of COVID, but keeping those 2 programs on track is incredibly important for us. A program that we have had available to our elementary students in the district is through the National Inventors Hall of Fame, which is Camp Invention, and it's run independently through that agency. And Michael Irving at North Falmouth has served as the director for Camp Invention in the past. And we're going to be able to double the number of weeks. So we're going to move from 1 week at North Falmouth to 2 weeks for elementary students, with the second week being hosted at T-Ticket. And through the additional funds that we're receiving, we're going to be able to offer Camp Invention to Falmouth Public Schools students in the eligible grades at no cost to our families. So we're going to offer a summer learning challenge, which offers activities and opportunities for families to encourage literacy, learning and reading practice, and to encourage math facts and math practice with some maker activities and some recommended movies as well, where we may be able to host drop-in activities. That's the piece we're still working on. And then finally, as Superintendent Dorr just shared, also looking at the Summer Acceleration Academy, which will have 2 programs, the literacy piece for our youngest learners, and then a math acceleration for upper elementary students.
So we will be offering, again, like I said, the academic instruction that focuses more on content area, and that's for students that need the support in math, ELA. They could be half-hour sessions, hour sessions, as recommended by the special education team. We will be providing related services, OT, PT, speech as needed, counseling as needed, as indicated from the IEP and the team. And then we also have all of our program sessions. So we've got, early elementary, we have our preschool kindergarten programs, we'll have our preschool TIP programs, our TIP kindergarten program, our Connect programs for at the elementary level, middle and high school. We've got our learning center, the TLC program. So all of those programs that we have during the school year, we run those programs, those 6-week programs throughout the summer, including all the way up through our, so for preschool all the way through our post-grad programs.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. The site of the old Elm Arch Inn off of Main Street downtown has been transformed into Tommy's Place, a vacation sanctuary for youngsters fighting cancer. Here's Troy's take on a special place where children and their families can stay for up to a week free of charge.
Thanks, Michael. I'm here at the old Elm Arch Inn on Elm Arch Way in downtown Falmouth. And 3 years ago, a mutual friend of mine reached out to me and introduced me to Tim O'Connell. And Tim and I had a cup of coffee down the street, and he told me about a dream to create a vacation home for kids with cancer. 3 years, lots of hard work, and many, many generous donations later, Tommy's Place is a reality. So Tim has generously agreed to invite us in and show us the dream fulfilled that is Tommy's Place. Join me. So this building was built in the early 19th century, Tim, and I know that when you began the renovations, you wanted to preserve its history, showcase its history. So these ceilings are an important part of that.
They were, when people were looking at this building prior, everybody was looking at tearing it down. And our biggest thing was, we're gonna save it and we're gonna celebrate it. And this is a way of celebrating by showing these old beams and these old floors. Everything here, this had 15 coats of paint on it. Everyone said, what are you gonna do with those floors? I said, we're gonna sand them and bring them back. And that's what you're looking at here and there. So the whole idea of this building was to keep it, and that's what we did.
So Tim, each family that comes and receives the gift of staying here at Tommy's Place gets to sign the wall, and you're only a few weeks in, but the messages are already very moving.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I came in here this morning, and you're allowed to scream, you're allowed to cry, but don't give up. And
wow.
This girl's 14 years old, and she just had the struggle of her life for 8 months out of nowhere, totally unanticipated, and she just came in here, and the dad wrote to me and said, I can never thank you enough. My daughter just laughed so much in this week, it's unbelievable.
And isn't that really the gift of this place, that through all the screaming and crying, families get to come here and laugh and exhale and take a deep breath. And that's really what it's all about. The team of volunteers here at Tommy's Place spans the United States, all over people, including Tanya Nyack from HGTV and Food Network. Tanya, thank you first for giving your love and your talents here to Tommy's Place. What does it mean to you to be part of this amazing effort?
Thank you. I'm beside myself, thrilled with the ability to be able to contribute in some way. And you know, Tim had reached out to me a while back as, believe it or not, a direct message on Instagram. He reached out blindly and he just said, hey, you know, I know you're somewhat local. I'm working on this project. Is there any way that you'd want to get involved? And I said 100% yes. But as you know, this house is too big of a house to tackle for one small design firm. So I reached out to all of my dear, most talented interior designer friends, and we recruited 24 people. We allocated individual rooms, and it just unfolded in a way that one designer reached out to 3 muralists, another designer had you know, a TV vendor, you know, whatever it was, it just kind of unfolded and it just grew way bigger and better than it could have been if it was just one person.
That really, though, exemplifies the stories of how Tommy's Place started and lives on, because it's just word of mouth and networking, and really just those loving connections of people, and everyone's been touched in some way by cancer, and now everyone has touched in some way by being part of Tommy's Place.
Yeah, it's been so special to be a part of it. And
the miracles continue here at Tommy's Place. The backyard is even filled with fun things where people can gather and laugh and enjoy each other. Here's an antique fire engine that kids can play on and have fun. And you know, one of the neighbors here on Elmarch Way reached out to Tim O'Connell this week, and he thought maybe they were concerned about all the activity here, but the neighbor actually told him that they loved hearing the laughter and the joy coming from this house, so much so that that neighbor was going to keep their windows open so they could hear and feel the love coming from Tommy's Place. And that's what this effort is all about. It's just great to be a part of it. It's great to have this in our community. And here's to hoping that Tommy's Place lives on through the continued generosity of its supporters, and the memories are made for generations for the families that use it here. I am Falmouth Enterprise columnist Troy Clarkson, and that's my take. Back to you.
Thanks to Troy Clarkson and Donna Buckley for bringing us that story. FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds from the newly painted finish line of the ASICS Falmouth Road Race, which you can watch live here on FCTV on August 15th. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.